Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icons to miss any of my future videos. In front of us we have the Sony ICF-19 and we'll perform an evening medium wave band scan. What I'd like to do before we start is go over the radio's features and size. So right away on features, you'll notice that this radio is all plastic construction. Its sister radio, the 506, is a little thinner and has a metal speaker grill versus this all plastic. We have a nice white dial with black numerals, similar to the 506. Here's our band select switch. We have a battery indicator, which is green, and when that light goes dim or goes out, you need to change your batteries. You have a tuning LED indicator that's red when you're in tune. Simple controls, tuning wheel, volume. Up here, those little holes for a carrying strap they include in the box. I left mine off, it kind of gets in the way. Our antenna in the back, if you notice this radio is fairly wide, it's to accommodate 3D cell batteries. And those are located in the back here. Also on the back, you'll notice you have a little divot here for picking the radio up when you don't have the strap there. So it works out pretty nice to have that. Our antenna, of course, comes up and swivels 360 degrees, which is nice. And let's go ahead and just snap that back into place. Okay. Show you the batteries behind this compartment. Its main claim to fame is 400 plus hours of runtime on 3D cell batteries. This is a great off-the-grid radio. If you're looking for a radio that you don't want to plug in but you want tons of runtime, this is the one to buy. It's probably one of the best I've seen on the market for long run times. All right, let's go ahead and flip this back over. All right, size comparison. I have a little radios around here. Yeah, I do. So we have CC pocket. Gives an idea just how wide this radio is to accommodate those batteries. Of course, the 506 and the 19 share the exact same internal ferrite antenna, which is about almost 5 inches, right about here, and the same internal board, and of course the same dial. And so everything you can expect as far as reception is the same. And the nice thing about this 19 is that it's also, about 2/3 the price of the 506. You just lose the ability of having a DC input in or an AC input. Though I think you could fashion your own DC input if you were good with tools and soldering. So there you go, CC Skywave, I just showed you. So it's 10:08 p.m. Central Daylight Time near Chicago, Illinois. I'll use this as my frequency checker if we need to. Turn that down so it's not blasting. All right, so let's get this just turned on. So yeah, let's see what we can find tonight. Now, I've had to put this off a few nights because we had storms, but tonight I think we're better off. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Here's our volume. The battery light went on. Start at the bottom of the band. Let's see if we can pick up anything on 530. Okay, so apparently 530 is a little bit too weak for me to pick up. This is 540, WAUK, Jackson, Wisconsin, 70 miles away, 400 watts at night.
Made his, what is the word he used? He paid tribute to Bill Clinton.
Okay, let me just check this. This might be 550. Let's just see. Unless it jumped to 560.
In a dress, and not just any dress, a blue dress. If you're old enough, you know.
Yeah, jump right to 560. So 560 Chicago.
I have a slightly different spin. If you're thinking about everything you've
WIND Chicago, yep.
Just say the last 6 months in American news, from transgender. Right? And we don't throw some passes in there because he can't throw the football. He is a good thrower to football.
Okay, so we're getting some mixed stations here. I'm going to check it out with the Skyway just to see where we're at.
right where he was. You know, that's the story of going against camp in Washington.
It sounds much better on the Sony. So 600 WMT, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It's 175 miles from me and at 5,000 watts.
And I almost got wrapped up in a fight and rolled into the tunnel.
Chatting a little bit with Danny Santana. Pitch to Kepler is down low ball 1. And I think the game in general has softened on that stuff, and I think that's a good thing.
So 610 this direction is Kansas City, Missouri, KCSP. It's 400 miles away, 5,000 watts at night.
And a 2-0 count. You have to play out these at-bats, play out the games. You just can't kneel on a ball and let the clock run out.
So you've got a big ring at bat. You're not going to give it away.
Maybe that's why they've won 15 preseason games in a row, right? They're just willing to show a little bit more.
620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Pretty close, 52 miles, 10,000 watts at night.
But they tend to play a different game in the preseason than most teams the Packers will play. But still, you'd like to see more of those one-on-one matchups won.
Oh, nice. It's coming nice and clear. I was wondering where all the crackling static was coming from. Didn't see any storms. It said partly cloudy, but I must be picking up something somewhere. This is CFCO, Chatham, Ontario, 6:30 a.m., 310 miles, 6,000 watts.
So you'd be mad enough to hurt me.
It's just a lot of things went the bad way, and then Joe Madden just, I don't know why he took
Okay, so I jumped.
but this is the game like
That's the problem with this radio. The fun thing, you can pick up a lot of stations with it. You just have to go back and forth to find those in-between stations. So we are going to go back and see if that was 650. Just going to double check.
Sure starting to be something.
Okay, I think that's 650. That wasn't 630. Okay, here's 630. Yeah, static. So this radio, this DSP, only picks up stronger stations, so it's going to pick up like the Nashville station. That's what we're hearing. Okay, so initially I said 630, but this is 650 WSM, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles. Okay. So yeah, it's selectivity, it's okay, but yeah, if the station's too faint, it'll just lock on a stronger station.
Addison Russell down. They took the risk of going with only one shortstop on the roster. Addison Russell.
670 the score. WSCR, Chicago.
Extremely consistent. He hardly ever misses games, but there is some kind of flu-like bug going through the clubhouse right now.
Basin seems okay, but it could have been a very scary moment tonight. Reds win 2-1 for the final score. I see Jason and Daniel and Ron and Kevin and Eddie.
Yeah, this is 700 W. I think they said the Reds. WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles, 700 AM.
We continue on 700 WLW.
There it is.
Let's say you went to London
right now with 2 down. Although it would surprise me. Well, that would just be
Another nice thing in person is the speaker sounds fantastic. Nice 4-inch speaker. The case depth of this cabinet gives it a little extra bass to it. Almost has a little bit better sound than the 506, just by a little tiny bit.
I talked about this before when I was pitching against the Angels here. Rod Carew laid down a bunt with 2 strikes.
I prefer this radio over the 2400D Panasonic. I really like this
And I talked to him years
sound
later.
quality.
And I said 3-2 bunting.
I'll have links below to the radio if you're interested.
Current
Current price is around $30 for this one.
Here's the 1-1 with the runner going, foul to the play to the right. And
Pick up Zoomer.
At Niagara Falls View Casino, featuring the greatest hits from the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys, the Everly Brothers.
Okay, so this is 740 CFZM, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles.
Visit FallsViewCasinoResort.com for tickets. Twist and Shout live October 3rd to 10th at Niagara Falls View Casino.
Here is a woman who reaches the age of 60. She found she had a gift, and the gift was for
Thing. Exactly.
So, I mean, what they do is they allow virtually anybody to put together a campaign. And
750 here is WSB, Atlanta, Georgia, 630 miles.
And however you could in your community, and then people go to the GoFundMe page or whatever competitor you would use, and they do.
And you found yourself without a passport.
Okay, this is WJR, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles.
Israel, Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon.
The shot off the lead after one round of the BMW Championship, and Furyk says if others can play top
to survive. You know,
School-age children. We're taught about the power of reading.
I had 3 years off, basically, where I wasn't playing good golf.
probably within 3 hours.
That's no reason to stop reading. Talking Books is a free program from the Library of Congress. If you have trouble reading normal-size print, like...
So I don't know if you saw that. I had to go back and forth to fish this station out. WABC 770, New York City, New York, 750 miles. The reason being is that WJR is pretty strong in Detroit on 760, and on 780, I have a local station out of Chicago, WBBM. So getting the station is pretty cool. So here we are, WABC, New York City, New York, 750 miles.
657 READ. Choose from a vast selection of books and magazines. Call 1-888-657-READ. 1-888-657-7323. A message from the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped.
Were you one of the millions whose identity
has been cleared? Now your travel times. Eden's at 19 minutes in either direction between Lake Cook and the Kennedy. The outbound Kennedy is slow from the Jane Bird.
Okay, this is 780 WBBM Chicago.
And then from Irving to Foster with roadwork in the left lane. 17 to the junction. 29 to O'Hare. Inbound's just slow getting into downtown. 24 in from O'Hare.
Back to verse 25.
Okay, what is it? There's one in the wall.
People paranoid about guns.
It's a thought crime law. It's a thought crime law.
Okay, we'll see where we're at here.
Orwell would be rolling in his grave right now. It's thought crime.
So this evening, it's pretty rough actually. My Skyway is having a hard time picking up some of these local or semi-local stations I can usually get. Jumps right up to 840 here. This is WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky. Tried to get an 830, but 830, yeah, my Skywave doesn't sound like it's coming in very well either. Oh, now it is. Let's see if we can pick that up.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, and I think it's scary. It's a scary ridiculous.
There we go. So if you know that station's there, just fish it out by going back and forth on that tuning wheel with a DSP. Once it finds it, it locks in.
In 15 innings this month. Jake Odorizzi, he has thrown well his last few.
So right now we're on 830, WCCO, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Listening to a Twins game on that's 310 miles away. Hear it fading. Just trying to hold it.
Leland Conway, Monday morning at 9 on News Radio 840 WHAS.
Coast to Coast AM and Ground Zero are in here. Always fun in the evening.
Hey, it's Clyde. I want to tell you about Life Change Tea. You know, it's a game changer. I started thinking energy I have. How does it work? Formula. A gentle daily.
I was going back and forth to see if I get 850 Denver, but I think right now 850 is probably not on the dial. Yeah, it's not going to be easily picked up. Okay. Right now we got a bunch of static here. It's the CJBC 860, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. We must be having storms or some kind of atmospheric issues, but at least we're getting some stations here. This is WWL, New Orleans on 870, Louisiana, 865 miles. And we'll just verify with the Skywave, I mean. Call it Pocket, Skywave.
I think everyone's going to be fine. I think that was a team that right now said, I have in my college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm with you. If they're not in mine, they'll be very, very close. I know that.
There we go. Cool.
Or SherwinWilliams.com, and then how to make the most of your color with the very best paint. Pete Alonso would help Strowman to his first Mets victory tonight. He knocked in yet another run in the top of the seventh.
Rosario on third for his big swing and a blast to left center.
Cool. First time I picked this up. This is WCBS, New York, New York. 750 miles on 880 with this radio. If it's not coming in strong, it's going to go right to 890, which is my local. So okay, it's a sensitive radio, but the signal's got to be halfway decent for it to lock on.
For 5, he and Rosario, the first combo of Mets to have 5 hit games of
Deniability if something goes wrong. And
Here's 890 WLS Chicago. High pitch whine coming from the camera.
of course, Hamas cannot wash their hands away from their responsibility. Trying to direct a young girl down the path. She should pay. My newspaper social will probably suggest my
Probably have to revisit this in the winter, see if we get some better signals. But this here is classic radio on CHML 900, Hamilton, Ontario, 430 miles away.
Oh, very well. Don't come to me.
William, we have visitors.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Wellman.
Cruise the dial a little quicker.
Man, everybody's talking to me about that.
400 plus affiliates nationwide, Jay. We're proud of that number and proud to have you as part of our team. And yeah, that was one of the craziest stories I think that's ever been told. Ephraim, we'll relay that.
What's up, buddy? Hey, Ephraim, how many surgeries you got during your career? 7? You ever wake up during any of them?
Okay, it's 980. I think it's a sports station. I don't know if I have it written down. If not, I don't see it here on my list. Put a little pop up there. I think I've found this before. But 980 for sure.
And these are the kinds of stories that we don't feel safe enough telling out loud. And when we don't tell our truth and we don't share the struggles behind the highlight reel, behind the success stories, we do it.
Well, this is nice. This is 990. Winnipeg, Manitoba. CBW, 675 miles.
Every generation does its work to push the next generation forward. We came from mothers and grandmothers who were
$200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well.
It's nice getting that fainter station next to the stronger one. This is 1,000. Right on the money there with the dial, which is good. This is WMVP, Chicago, Illinois.
He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-700-6898. That's 800-700-6898 for $1 million in term life insurance.
Pretty barely. That's pretty quick. Pretty quick. Hey, Jim, I got to run. I got full lines. Thank you so much, okay?
Thank you, Dan. Have a great night.
Let's go next to Boston Donna. Boston Donna, you're next on Night Side. Go right ahead.
KWBZ, Boston, Massachusetts on 1030, 880 miles.
You know, I guess Democrats only think one way. I guess they go through like the...
Reporters to score exclusive interviews with stars like Talib Kweli
1020 here.
You are extra, you know that.
Extra, that's what the E's
You're
for.
so extra, so where does that...
Their Volkswagen broke down about 5 miles away, and they wound up walking in.
There it is, there's 1020. See, it's just that back and forth. It makes for an interesting experience, and you're rewarded with stations. KDKA, 1020 AM, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 450 miles.
It's just, I think it was a very important part of history.
I know one person who says he was there that I think probably...
Subway. In the subway,
We bought a ticket that took us from East Berlin, where we were, to another section in East Berlin. But there was one stop that the subway would make.
Here's 1040. This is WHO, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles.
Our ticket was actually took us back into the eastern sector. Now, my mother, I didn't appreciate all of this, but my mother was taking a huge gamble by getting
along in game planning. So, if there's anything you go, okay, well, we're not game planning, but still, there was certainly a lot of mental mistakes that
over in Washington, Dwayne Haskins with the big touchdown throw, 7-14, 114. The score there, Data heads to 3 sacks on the night.
Okay, a sports station on 1070. If I have that, I will. Oh, that's probably, you know what? It's probably WTSO Madison.
Where am I right now?
Yes, that's Madison. Okay. Got it mixed in there. Handle that one.
Thou standest by faith, be not high-minded, but fear. For if God spare not the natural branches, take
1090 KAAY, Little Rock, Arkansas, 570 miles.
of God. On them which fell, severity, but on the goodness, fear, fixed condition.
I like seeing where do people stand on an issue. Are you, I don't like the polarization.
So we passed over 1100.
That level of preservation recession.
Okay, this is 1110, believe it or not. Can't make anything out of it.
0.9 FM.
There we go. Again, it's a little back and forth. This is WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 1100. 345 miles. Double check.
Participants can donate new
Yep.
school supplies
Hey.
to Cleveland Metropolitan School District Project Act. All runners and walkers
Dust
will
off
receive
my
an
stuff here.
exclusive T-shirt, finishers medal, tickets to Cavs and Monsters games, and more. For more info and to
Mr. Website on KMOX.
This is the time of the year where everybody's getting...
So there you go. Call letters 11:20 a.m. St. Louis, Missouri. KMOX is 275 miles away.
that is really based on when they test it in their labs. But remember, that's always going to be in a controlled environment.
Get and read the secret long cache free to my listeners by calling right now, 800-289-2646, 800-289-2646. Hi, I'm Dale Jones, agronomist.
WRVA, Richmond, Virginia, 665 miles. So I have some Chris at the top of the band here.
Convirtieron en el tercer equipo en ganar el Super Bowl en años consecutivos cuando se coronaron en el Super Bowl 9 y 10 ante Minnesota y Dallas respectivamente.
1200, I think, WRTO, Chicago.
De Miami el 18 de enero de 1976. Es considerado uno de los mejores de la historia y fue uno de los primeros eventos para festejar.
Got two stations there, it looks like, a game.
Surgery using the hair and saliva samples along with NJ Diet's bio.
This is 1210 WPHT, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles.
About to 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. Locations in Philadelphia, Jenkintown, Princeton, and surrounding New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Call 855-5-NJ Diet or log on to NJDiet.com.
Israeli law prohibits entry to people promoting boycotts against the Jewish
That music there, I'm not sure where that's coming out of. That's 1220 maybe?
Reception. These guys were making plays, running those deep in.
Finding music stations is fun.
Limu, there's a woman threatening to sign for generic car insurance.
We're doing the Fox, we're doing the Dolphins, Jaguars preseason game, all of us. Me, Howard, Terry, Jimmy, Stray, Kurt. We're going down, we're ready.
Fox News, I'm Richard Jordan. President Trump is back in New Jersey to continue his working vacation after holding a rally in New Hampshire tonight.
So it's all just about getting the feel back, getting in the flow, and we're able to do that tonight. He also had a big first down catch on Ryan Finley's touchdown drive. It looked like he put it in a spot where only
showed up there. How did he wind up on stage?
So I think we're at the 1500 range. That was 1530 WCKY out of Ohio. And this one here I think is KXEL out of Waterloo, Iowa, 1540.
With the band that was supposed to go on stage.
They're averaging about 300 to 200 miles.
Hey, there's dead space. You've got to go on stage. And he said, oh.
Okay, this is 1610 CHHA, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles, Hispanic station. I think that music station we had there was 1630, KCJJ, Iowa City, Iowa, 175 miles, 1,000 watts at night. We're almost done here.
We do hit together and all of that.
Take Motel 6. Your impression at a great price has always been the impression they want you to leave with. Not that they want you to leave. Don't get that impression.
Top of the dial here, we're at 1700. This is KBGG, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles. I'll just verify at the top of the dial.
Here's my blue ribbon plan. Bring me your old clunker, and I'll give you up to $5,000 over and above appraised value for that old car.
Yeah, old clunker, $5,000, sweet. I love those ads. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. Yeah, so there you are, the Sony ICF-19 evening medium wave band scan. Could have been better. We'll revisit again, maybe on a winter night. Maybe the atmosphere will be much clean. Right now, it's just kind of bouncing around. We're able to get some faint stations and distant stations, as you heard. Just took a little bit of practice. You really have to know this radio. You have to play with it a lot. You have to tune it a lot to get an idea where your stations are going to be, especially at nighttime. If you don't have the luxury of having a digital lock tuner like this, this isn't bad. And for $30, you're going to get a nice DX experience. You're going to get a nice sounding experience, and you get that 400 hours of runtime to keep you busy wherever you're at. If you're in a cabin, in the woods, camping, just a great little radio to take with you. Well, I shouldn't say little; it's kind of hefty, but it does get the job done, and I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with the results. Again, just take some time, tune it slowly, and you'll be able to pick up anything, easily, past 700 miles, not a problem at all, as you heard. Okay, guys, well, I appreciate you watching. If you love Sony radios, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, and get notified of future reviews and band scans, including with this radio. Maybe comparing with others again. I did do a shootout with this, which I'll have in the iCard section. And of course, comment below what you think about the Sony ICF-19. Would you buy this radio? Would you forego and go for the 506 model? You give up the high capacity and the batteries and to have the AC input? Let me know. We need to hear. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.